Recording is in progress.
Okay, thank you so much. And good evening, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon to everyone. This is Mariam Khan, Executive Director, Community Development Foundation, also co-founder of Global Women's Development Network and president of this 16 Days of Activism for Development campaign. This campaign is based on three major components. Number one, smart agriculture solutions. We are focusing on food and nutrition. And the campaign is promoting the food security, safety and security. The objective of this campaign is removing malnutrition from the 0 consultants, academias, persons, organization leaders, and so many other persons which joined us as a guest speakers, as a keynote speakers, or as audience, or even on social media. All of they are really deserving big thanks from our side that they joined this campaign with us to raise the voice for the voiceless. So we are today on our 11th day, and the 11th day is going to be covered as a keynote speaker from Ma'am Suraya Banu. Ma'am Suraya Banu will, introduce herself in detail, but I just want to, share a brief about herself, that she is a dynamic leader and also a very highly professional person serving in development and academia sectors in India. And also she is the Global Women's Development Network core team member. And also she's serving as a colleague with Dr. Tamara Umar. And we are really glad to have you on board with us today. And we are going to listen you a lot of, about food and nutrition, importance of food and nutrition in young kids. But before your presentation, we wish that we want to know more about you, about your working in India. And also we are going to request you that you can also share later end of your speech that how can this platform collaborate with your work with Global Women's Development Network, or even International Indigenous Women's Day Conference can collaborate with your platform. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thanks for joining us. So you are most welcome. Before your speech, we have regular proceedings that we have a short, brief review of our previous day. So for the previous day review, I'm going to request our one of the senior team member, this is Sir Prince Andrew. Sir Andrew is going to give us a previous day review, and then we will move forward. After the round of quick introduction, we can call to our speaker for the today's speech. Sir Andrew, this is over to you for the yesterday review.
Well, thank you so very much, Mariam Khan. Yesterday's review, our 16 days of activism is moving towards its goal of deepening and sustaining the participation, which depends on creating new, diverse, and varied opportunities for involved members in the audience. This campaign is approaching and expanding the opportunities for engagement offered to the public investments in good agricultural management and the recognition of all ventures which are creating more impactful change. Government, civil society, the private sector, and international development organizations all have a role to play in fostering this campaign to remove malnutrition from 0 to 15 years of young kids. On our 10th day, Dr. Kelvin Morgan joined us along with Ma'am Patricia from Ghana to discuss the history of family farming. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. and this is our yesterday review. Along with, we have different discussions. We have also present IAWDC presentation, and also we are taken so many reviews from our participants also. So this was yesterday. So now we have a quick round of introduction. We have 2 minutes for each speaker, each member guest today on this in this call right now. So everyone can one by one unmute yourself and introduce yourself. You can share about your work, your name, your organization, and your country. So we are going to start from Sosan.
Good evening from Kenya. My names are Susan Yego, and I'm glad to be here today in today's session. I have worked with the Ministry of Agriculture in Kenya for the last 32 years, and I'm preparing to retire next year. I'm also a member of UnityNet Africa Kenya. I'm the project director, and it is now that we shall be starting our first project in January of tree planting. I also teach Sunday school children, little children in the church or religion church. I am a secretary of Star of the Sea Association. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Andrew, kindly please introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, Mariam, was that to me?
Yes, sir. Kindly introduce yourself.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Let me first mute everyone that's not speaking right now. Yes, this is Prince Andrew Williams Jr. I'm joining you from Los Angeles, California. Although I have been inducted as a prince on the African continent in both Ghana and the Ivory Coast. I'm very pleased to be here. You may see Andrew Networks. All the members here are welcome to be part of what the Andrew Networks is. Particularly, we're just now being joined by Princess Seppi Motlong. She, along with Mariam Khan, are the key drivers of this organization, but it is Andrew Networks that's driving everyone. So we want to leave no one behind, and we're here to assist any and all of you. Thank you so much, Mariam.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Princess Seppi, kindly unmute yourself and introduce your.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And wonderful to be here from South Africa, and I'm here to learn. Sorry not to show the video again. Yes, it's just great to be here. I think a lot of introduction has been done. I've just heard now Prince Andrew as well, including me, so I'm included in this. So thank you so much.
Well, in your minute, please tell us about Future Lift and the work you're doing for the rural women in South Africa. You still have 35 seconds left.
Right. Future Lift, as we can see, is also a partner on the board of partners there. We do rural development with a focus on women and youth. We do it through the vehicle of skills empowerment. So we have been busy even with this campaign under agriculture, training the women on just how to manage how to grow into sustainable process and also thereof. But so that's basically what we do, and even for peri-urban women. And this also helps them to be more empowered so that they don't succumb to the effects of the abuse, or even sometimes be able to proactively see the signs and have something to sustain themselves. So that's what we are about. We are saying one household at a time, one village at a time, until we can cover the whole of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. So this is Ademo. Kindly unmute yourself, and you have 1 minute to introduce yourself, please. So I think so he's not hearing us. So we have Ma'am Rose with us. Ma'am Rose, kindly unmute yourself and introduce on this platform.
Good evening, all. My name is Rose Mwandawira. I come from Kenya, a town called Mombasa. I'm a mental health champion. I deal with counseling in psychology, and I'm also a nurse by profession. I like handling a lot of mental issues, and I'm very proud to be in this group. Looking forward for more, and actually here to learn more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. And Ma'am Susan is, she's going to be one of the speaker with us also in coming days. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us for this, for today's session. So now it's finally, it's welcome, ma'am. So now finally it's the time to give this floor to our today's keynote speaker. This is Ma'am Surya Banu from India, member of Global Women's Development Network, and also she is the active member from India in so many organizations serving over there as a academia and development expert. So ma'am, floor is over to you for your presentation and for your detailed introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is Dr. Surya Banu from Milainagar, Chhattisgarh, India. I am working as an educationalist and as well as social activist in the field of computer science. I am working since about 29 years, and my brief biography is printed in World Record Book, Golden Book of Earth, and I have occurred International National State Award honors near about 726 and awarded by President of Kyrgyzstan, President of Thailand, Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh and Uttarakhand, India, Education Minister of Sri Lanka, Governor of India, Agartala, Haryana, and so many countries. I have awarded in 8 countries and achieved 726 international national awards. As a membership, I am involved as educationalist from Samarpan Sanstha, Jaipur, India, and recently I have adopted a girl child of class 8 for her educational responsibility lifelong. As a National Director, Anti-Corruption Foundation of India, Joint Secretary, National Human Rights Social Justice Council, New Delhi, India, Women Ambassador, Global India Access Human Rights International from Bangladesh, Global Ambassador for Peace Leadership from Bangladesh, Peace Ambassador from Dynamic Peace Rescue Mission International, Nigeria, Goodwill Ambassador and National President of Women's India from Dubai, National Coordinator from Human Rights International Federation, India, Gandhi Peace Ambassador International for the Chhattisgarh, India, Nepal, Coordinator Think Mano Adhikar, India, Executive Member of UNIPA, more than 58 international national society I have associated, and working as a Women Ambassador, Education Ambassador, Peace International Peace Ambassador. This is my brief introduction. Now I want to start my speech. Today my topic is importance of food and nutrition in young kids. In the words of Emerson, the first wealth is health. And very well said by Thomas Edison, the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human frame with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. Food and nutrition are the way that we get fuel, providing energy for our bodies. We need to replace nutrients in our bodies with a new supply every day. Water is an important component of nutrition. Fats, proteins, and carbohydrates are all required. Good nutrition means our body gets all the nutrients, vitamins, and minerals it needs to work its best. We just plan our meals and snacks to include nutrient-dense foods that are also low in calories. Goals for nutrition and weight status. They are to promote health and reduce the risk of developing chronic diseases by consume healthful diet and to achieve and maintain healthy body weights. Nutrition criteria are reflective of a solid scientific foundation for health and weight management. In the words of Edward Stanley, those who think they have no time for healthy eating will sooner or later have to find time for illness. Now I want to focus the benefits of eating healthy foods. A healthy diet is essential for good health and nutrition. It protects us against many chronic, no communicable diseases such as heart diseases, diabetes, and cancer. Eating a variety of foods and consuming less salt, sugars, and saturated and industrially produced trans fats are essential for healthy diet. Most people know good nutrition and physical activity can help maintain a healthy weight, but the benefits of good nutrition go beyond weight. Good nutrition can help us live longer, keeps skin, teeth, and eyes healthy, supports muscles, boosts immunity, strengthens bones, support healthy pregnancies and breastfeeding, helps the digestive system function, helps achieve and maintain a healthy weight, reduces the risk of some diseases, including heart disease, diabetes, stroke, cancers, reduce high blood pressure, lower high cholesterol, improve our well-being, improve our ability to fight off illness, improve our ability to recover from illness or injury, increase our energy level. Very well said by Hippocrates. If we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little or not too much, we would have the safest way to health. And he also said, our food should be our medicine and our medicine should be our food. Now I want to focus the importance of nutrition in early childhood development. Nutrition may not be on the list of our child's favorite things, but it is crucial to the process of every childhood development. Healthy eating is the child's early years can increase their cognitive development and ability to learn for years to come. In the words of Julia Child, water is the most neglected nutrient in your diet, but one of the most vital. Nutrition and the child's growth. Healthy food choices have a strong impact on child's growth. We have to discuss with our child's doctor regularly to review the child's weight and height. The doctor plots our child's weight and height on a growth chart. This chart shows the relationship between our child's height and weight. The curve of the chart is extremely important and monitors if the child's weight and heights are growing at the same rate. Our child's growth can tell us about their nutritional needs. Each one of our child's meals should include a fruit, a vegetable, grains, a source of protein, and dairy. Save the best for last. Have our child eat the part of meal they prefer, the latest, the least first, and they eat their favorite food last. This will encourage them to finish all their food in record-breaking time. Make family dinner fun and serve portion of the meal in phases instead of all one time. This keeps the child engaged in every aspect of the meal. Allow them to involve in the food making process. Kids get more excited about eating food that they helped make. In the words of Tom Vilsack, the lack of access to proper nutrition is not only fueling obesity, it is leading to food insecurity and hunger among our children. Now, the question arises in our mind, what is good nutrition for kids and young children? Nutrition for children is based on the same core principle as nutrition for adults. The key to proper nutrition is a healthy and appropriate balance of diet and exercise. The 5 main food groups include grains, dairy, protein, vegetables, and fruit, and are generally a good starting point for any child's diet. The portion of each respective food group will depend heavily on age, genetic makeup, and physical activity. It is important to understand each food group to develop a well-balanced and nutrition diet for our child. Now, I discussed about grains first. The grains can be split into 2 categories, whole and refined grains. Whole grains are more nutritious because they involve products using the entire grain kernel. Whole grain products include oatmeal, whole wheat flour, and brown rice. Refined grains have been milled and processed generally many times to improve shelf life and texture. In the process of refining grains, many valuable nutritional benefits are lost, and therefore whole grains tend to be a better option. Some example of refined grains include white bread, white rice, etc. Second one is vegetables. Any vegetables or 100% vegetable juice belongs to the vegetable group. Vegetables can be raw cooked, dehydrated, canned, whole, juiced, or mashed, and are separated into 5 subcategories, including dark green vegetable, stretchy vegetables, red and orange vegetables, beans and peas, and other vegetables. The portion size of each will depend on which subcategory it belongs to, considering that some vegetables are more dense and nutrient packed than others. Next, fruit. Any fresh fruit or 100% fruit juice belong to the fruit category. Fruit can be canned, frozen, dried, cured, or juiced. Due to the high sugar content of fruit, it is advisable to construct a dietary balance based on age, activity levels, time of day, and gender. Much like vegetables, fresh food can be further categorized into organic, non-organic, and non-GMO. Protein and dairy. Next one, the protein food group is made of foods that are primarily protein sources such as meat, poultry, beans, peas, eggs, seafood, and nuts. It is advisable that meat and poultry sources within our child's diet be lean and low fat. All food, milk products, and products made primarily from milk belongs to dairy food group. The dairy products include items such as milk, yogurt, and cheese. In recent years, dairy has been a controversial member of the food group, and as such, many nutritionally comparable dairy alternatives have been provided with greater nutritional value. Based on the age and unique genetic makeup of our child, their diet and lifestyle may look different and have emphasis on certain nutritional guidelines during one age range and many different guidelines during another. In the words of Mike Adams, today more than 95% of all chronic disease is caused by food choice, toxins and ingredients, nutritional deficiencies, and lack of physical exercise. Now I conclude, good nutrition is essential during childhood as it is a time of rapid growth, development, and activity. A proper nutritional diet and healthy lifestyle can affect young children throughout the rest of their lives. During early development, children are highly impressible and start to implement routines and tools that they carry with them into adulthood. Aside from habits and routines created, children who do not obtain proper nutrients as they develop can suffer from physical illness. Proper nutrition promotes healthy pregnancy outcomes, support normal growth, development, and aging, helps to maintain a healthy body weight, and reduce the risk of chronic disease leading to overall health and well-being. Food is one of the basic necessities of the woman. As always, physical activity is as important as proper nutrition. To encourage physical activity, parents can limit their child's time spent watching television and playing video games and promote more physically active routines such as walking, running, playing on playground. It is important for parents to actively participate in their children's lives surrounding nutrition and exercise. And at last, I want to share a golden line. Exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together and you have got a kingdom. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dr. Mariam Madam, Dr. Tamara Madam, and all delegates for providing me such a great opportunity on such a great moment. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you so much. Make
ma'am.
sure
Thank
in
you
the chat, you do put your contact information and if you have any website, so we can all follow up. Back to you, Miriam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us, and you stay with us because we have a round of questions with you, and so we are going to take 3 questions from the participants, and you can take these 3 questions so you can deliver your answers one by one. So this is with the audience. If you have any questions with Dr. Surya Banu, so you can ask, or you can put your questions in the chat also. So we are waiting from the members if you have any questions.
I have also mentioned my email address. Send via email. I will send them in brief. Okay, ma'am. Here
Yes, ma'am.
I will put I will put my email address in chat box.
Well, thank you, but there are many people that are in your audience that cannot see the chat box. So if you could repeat it, that way they can hear it and know how to reach you, if you would be so kind. Could you say out loud your email address so that our audience who are not in the chat can be able to reach you, please? Thank you. Well, I'll read it out loud. It's, let's see if I can read it out loud. It's SOFTWATE SSURAIYA@gmail.com. Thank you very much, Miriam. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So we don't receive any questions from the audience right now. So ma'am, Dr. Surya Banu shared here her email address. If you people want to know more about this speech, or you even want to know something more about her development contribution, or even contribution in the academia, you all are welcome. So now, thank you so much, ma'am, and stay with us in the session. Thank you. So now we are moving towards welcome. So we are going to invite Sir Andrew William, and Sir Andrew William is going to deliver one of the presentation today. This is from the youtheconomicopportunities.org, connecting exchange and impact. Sir Andrew is going to share about this organization, and also he's going to share the procedure of that how can we connect with this organization, how can we get benefit from this platform, and how can we create collectively the impact from this forum. So we are going to hear from Prince Andrew William. Sir Andrew William, this is over to you for your presentation.
Well, thank you very much. I've taken this opportunity to include in the chat the links so that you'll be able to follow along if you so choose. The idea is for us not to just have these daily events for the people that are here, but to also produce content that we can later share around the world. And I'll have a special announcement by the time we end this to let you know that we do have a broadcast platform. So it will be important for us to share this information for people around the world. But if you can see my screen now, I've shared the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. At the end of the day, these 16 days of activism for development are all intended to support the global push towards the Sustainable Development Goals. However, there are many places around the world where the grassroots community do not know what the goals are. And so we're taking this opportunity to share with you some readily available information online that you can yourself go to the website. You can find information about what these goals are, and also in particular about how this has impact on youth. So just briefly, I'm sharing with you this guide that you can download. It's free of charge. You can download anywhere in the world and get this basic overview of the Sustainable Development Goals. However, this particular youth guide to the global goals was developed not just for, but by youth around the world. It provides a background on the Millennium Development Goals, which actually began this 1,000-year push for us to leave no one behind. From 2000 to 2015, that was the first phase of the the 1,000-year goals. But we are now in the second phase, the Sustainable Development Goals. And as you can see, and as you know, not only are youth essential to achieving the global goals, but in fact, everything that you and I are doing as adults is only for the benefit of our children and the generation that comes behind them. This is particularly true in this season where we're dealing with a global pandemic that's adversely affecting people around the world. However, I am broadcasting from here in Los Angeles, California, in the United States, where there's a big push now for a third round of COVID-19 shots, whereas only 6% of the population on the African continent are vaccinated. That means that we must take the opportunity to connect together all of our resources around the world. But in particular for today's presentation, there are many reasons that the world needs the youth. In the first place, the world's problems are urgent. Youth are uniquely equipped to solve the problems. Young people are already addressing the world's most serious challenges. There are more children and youth in the world than at any time in history. Teens are inclined to peer authority. They listen to kids more than they listen to adults. So youth leaders are highly effective at mobilizing their friends to join the cause. In particular, the solutions have an exponential effect. The problems of the world are linked, as are the solutions. When poverty decreases, health improves. When literacy increases, human rights improve. When youth are networked to share effective practices, the pace of social change will accelerate greatly. This benefits not only the community, but the youth themselves. Youth thrive by addressing the global goals. Youth need to know they matter. This organization believes in asking youth to solve the world's biggest problems. What better way to show youth that they matter, not in some distant future, but today? Studies show that they will continue to contribute, vote, and be philanthropic for a lifetime. The problems of the world do present powerful opportunities for authentic learning. As students see how science relates to poverty, how math links to health, and how language skills, language arts are critical to safer communities, they understand the relevance of their education. No longer will students ask, why do I need to learn this? They will know. Youth that tackle big social issues develop vital employability skills. Students explore careers and acquire knowledge, skills, and abilities required by employers. College and career readiness skills are building blocks of any social intervention. All youth must have the opportunity. All youth can improve their communities, regardless of ability, race, social class, or academic achievement level. However, not all are asked. Young people of privileged are asked to serve at significantly higher rates than their less privileged peers, creating an opportunity gap. We must proactively eliminate this gap. How can youth achieve the global goals? As youth grow passionate about the global goals that they investigate, they can channel their interests and talents ASAP. ASAP is YSA's model for taking action. ASAP is very simple, and it's not just limited to youth. ASAP is awareness, service, advocacy, and philanthropy. Awareness, share information, and teach others in order to positively change people's behavior. Service, use your creativity, time, and talent to directly meet a need in your community. Advocacy, speak out, join others, and persuade policymakers to change policies and laws. Philanthropy, collect and donate financial and in-kind support. This symbol represents the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I myself have been involved with this since its very beginning. In 1999, it was Kofi Annan that announced at the Davos World Economic Forum the launch of a companion project called the United Nations Global Compact, because he realized that it would take more than just governments to achieve these goals and objectives. The idea was to involve business with civil society, academia, and the local community to get these things done. In that respect, you may recall the first eight Millennium Development Goals began with ending poverty and ended with global partnerships for development. Although we now have 17 goals and we have 169 targets, we're still beginning with the goal of ending poverty and building partnerships for development. I'm going to briefly walk through this background. Again, this is available online. I put the link in the chat. This tool is a resource that you can use in your own activities and in your own communities. Global goal number 1, end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Too many people around the world are living in extreme poverty. This goal supports the development of impoverished communities, helping people that are poor gain access to the resources they lack. Each one of these pages includes a global goals tip sheet. It describes why it's important. It describes what you can do ASAP. In particular, for goal number 1, for example, you can develop and promote a blog using stories from organizations or activists who have joined the fight against poverty, or simply share your own personal insights on the issue. In other words, the youth have the power through their mobile phones to now just not become consumers of content, but producers of content. In addition to sharing funny and delightful TikTok posts, etc., they can actually gain power by deciding to create their own narrative to share with the world. Service. Example, youth can find a local donation center and collect, sort, and organize goods for those in need and donate to a local center. Advocacy. An example is to organize an advocacy campaign to gain support, create petition signs, and write letters to the local congresspersons or political representatives in response to a poverty-fighting initiative. Philanthropy. Kids can host an event such as a concert, dance performance, or poetry slam, and donate the proceeds from the ticket sales to any relief organizations. These are just a few of the tips that are available, again, online for youth changing the world. And you can reach that through youth service, excuse me, youthservicesorganization.org. As for today's issue of hunger, there is, in fact, a goal to achieve zero hunger, no hunger, end hunger, and malnutrition, achieve food security, or promote sustainable agriculture in your community. Rethink how we grow, share, and consume our food. This speaks directly to today's topic and what the doctor mentioned to us earlier. Right now, 795 million people in the world are hungry. Extreme hunger and malnutrition causes developmental delays and hinders learning for children and may lead to disease and starvation for all people. In this ASAP, what you can do to raise awareness, you can lead an assembly at your school or present during an after-school program about hunger, food waste, and what your peers can do to create food security in the community. Service. You can gather friends and community members together and start a community food bank. If you're in college, organize a campus kitchen, such as Feel Good Sandwich Deal with the Hunger Project. Advocacy. You can conduct an assessment of hunger in your city or local community and get a group of people to email your local representatives, your local officials with your database concerns and suggestions. This is even more important in rural communities because there the conversation has to be one-on-one, but you still have to produce the data. So our youth can help their local communities become engaged and involved with resources that are only channeled to those places that have a demonstrated need. Unfortunately, there's a lack of data accountability, particularly in the global South. It will be up to our youth to be the ones to take advantage of their tools and resources to help build the data that's necessary so we can channel the resources to where they're most needed. An example of philanthropy, they can organize food drive competitions at schools, and whichever classroom collects the most food from their friends, family, and neighbors wins. Again, there are additional tip sheets on goals at www.ysa.org for youth changing the world. As I mentioned, all of the goals are interconnected. When you address the hunger needs, you also address good health and well-being, number 3. That goal is to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. It addresses a wide range of health issues beyond just disease and infirmity. Why is it important? Persistent and emerging health issues across the globe are preventing humans and their communities from living productive, desirable lives. While progress has been made in reducing the spread of HIV, AIDS, and other diseases, more effort is needed to increase life expectancy and reduce the common killers that threaten children and adults worldwide. In this example, what you can do: awareness. Join a START, assist Students Against Destructive Decisions, SADD chapter at your school, and present about the pressing issues that teens face today and how to turn their destructive decisions into positive ones. Service. Use your passion and creativity to take actions that address and solve problems through volunteerism. For example, help end the chronic blood shortage by hosting a blood drive with the Red Cross. Advocacy. Convince your leaders to address the issues, using their voice or joining with others to affect change. An example: work with community leaders to develop and promote safe routes to walk and bike to school, or organize a self-defense class in partnership with a PE teacher. Philanthropy. Raise and donate money for the cause or issue. For example, organize a fun run and donate the proceeds to a local cancer research organization. Now, again, these examples are coming from here in the United States, but it's up to you to adapt these general guidelines to your specific area, again, in partnership. Number 4 is critically important too: quality education. As the doctor earlier mentioned, when you don't have sufficient food security, it always provides a challenge, not just mentally, but not just physically, but mentally, particularly for our students in their efforts to learn and educate themselves to improve their lives. Why is it important? Education gives children the tools they need to meet their needs and develop their full potential. School is where kids learn these important skills that they will use every day and when they're older. However, not everyone is lucky enough to be able to go to school. If every girl and boy from all around the world is able to go to school and learn, then they will have much safer, healthier, and better lives. What can you do ASAP? Educate people about the issues and persuade them to change their behaviors. For example, share images from campaigns on social networking sites and start a conversation with your friends about the importance of education for all. Service. Become a tutor to someone in your school or community and help him or her with a subject that you excel in. Advocacy. Encourage voters to support a local education for referendum. Philanthropy. Organize a free-based school swap for your community and donate the proceeds to a literacy organization. Again, go to www.ysa.org. As you know, this particular platform, the 16 Days of Engagement, is being sponsored by the Global Women's Development Network, and they are key components in the International and Indigenous Women's Development Conference for 2022. Focusing on gender equality is core to us achieving any and all of the Sustainable Development Goals, but in particular, these guidelines indicate that gender equality is a precondition for making any serious shift towards a more peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Achieving gender equality requires advances in a wide range of areas, from promoting women's health to reducing poverty around the globe. What can you do ASAP? Awareness. Ask any adult female role model in your life to join you in hosting an open discussion with your friends about gender and equality. Personal experiences, thoughts, questions, just to get the conversation started. Service. Teach girls in your community about coding, engineering, and science. Advocacy. Write a letter to an influential public figure, encouraging him or her to join the 100 plus celebrities who've already signed the Girls Affect Girl Declaration. Philanthropy. Organize a collection drive for a professional women's clothing and donate to an organization that supports women in need. One of our other Goodwill ambassadors for AHIABGA, actually, I credit her with being the co-chairperson, Janet De Silva, has a project called One Dress, One Smile that intends to do just that, to empower women, both commercially in urban areas and rural areas, to generate incomes for their local community through their arts and craft. Global goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. Water scarcity affects more than 40% of the global population. Additionally, 2 million deaths occur every year from diseases linked to poor hygiene and unsafe water. Yet human activities pollute our water ecosystems every day. Our health, environment, and economy will continue to suffer if we do not invest in water development. What you can do ASAP? Awareness. Promote simple strategies to save water by placing informative flyers and posters above sinks and in bathrooms at your school or home. These are posters that you can make yourself. You can do it with crayons. The important thing is to get the message out. Service. Volunteer for an organization that supports the fight for clean water, such as the Planet Water Foundation, and make a difference in water-impoverished communities. Again, this particular guide is for those here in the United States. You have to find ways to adapt this to your local area. Advocacy. Develop and promote a pledge for people in your school or dorm to sign, promising to reduce wastewater and pollution. Make a copy for your parent or guardian to bring this to his or her workplace. Again, this is where youth can create an app, can create something simple that we can take advantage of the technology leap that we already have in Africa. Philanthropy. Start a fundraising page online for an organization and share the link on social media so your friends can make a donation. Global goal number 7, affordable and clean energy. Now we're coming to areas where you can see that this has implication not just for our youth, not just for our community, but for our entire world. We depend on energy every day for our lives to function smoothly. Unfortunately, electricity use increases greenhouse gas emissions, which harm our environment. In order to transition to a sustainable energy system, we must prioritize energy efficient practices. Additionally, we must provide help to countries that lack access to energy and electricity. Again, this is coming from the United States, but you need to adapt this where you can in your local area. Awareness. Research the energy consumption rates at your school, dorm, or workplace, and share the data along with tips for reduction in a presentation on posters or via social media. Again, this might be something that's out of reach for some of what they call the developing countries, but it's not out of reach for our kids to still use their own energies to take the opportunity to create the data that doesn't exist. That may be one of the most important outcomes that we can get as we get our youth involved. Service. Organize a battery and electronics recycling drive and help your community reduce its hazardous waste. Advocacy. Write a letter to local businesses about the importance of affordable clean energy. Ask them to improve their buildings' energy efficiency by adapting sustainable energy practices. And philanthropy. Host a bake sale to raise money to purchase energy efficient LED lights. I'm going to walk through these as I can. Number 8, global goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. Why is it important? The only way to eradicate poverty is through stable and well-paid jobs, but I should also add entrepreneurial opportunities. In order for people to enter the labor market, we need more jobs. Additionally, conditions must be improved for men and women who are working but not yet earning enough money to protect their families through poverty. In the interest of time, I'm just going to walk through these last goals and give you a summary. Global goal number 9, innovation and infrastructure. Why is it important? Many developing countries lack basic infrastructure like roads, communication technologies, sanitation and water improvements. In these in water, improvements in these standards of living often start with the growth of new industries. Promotion of technical innovation and improved buildings, roads, and power supplies are necessary for sustainable growth and eradicating poverty. Goal number 10, reduced inequalities. Developing states and disadvantaged groups suffer more than others because they are not protected socially, economically, or environmentally. Inequality is prevalent in our world in many forms. Social, political, and economic inequalities threaten opportunities and leave disadvantaged groups behind. Reducing inequalities will require changes in laws, systems, and attitudes. SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Cities are good for society, so help them prosper and grow by overcoming urban challenges. Cities are centers for growth, jobs, ideas, cultures, and more. It's no wonder why 3.5 billion people live in cities today. Since this number is rapidly rising, land and resources in these areas are being threatened. Challenges such as affordability and safety issues come hand in hand with the great opportunity that city life offers. Urban planning needs to be strengthened globally. Global goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. Each year, 1/3 of all food produced ends up in the trash. At the same time, 1 billion people around the world go hungry. The amount of waste we produce is also polluting our water, affecting human health and the environment. All it takes is some simple lifestyle changes to reduce waste and leave a big impact on society as a whole. SDG 13, climate action. Why is it important? Human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and poor agricultural practices are disrupting the environment and economies around the world. And before I go further, let me say that this impact is even more devastating in rural communities and also, as you may know, throughout the global South. So the more we can actually improve the agricultural practices, the better able we can improve not only our lives, but the actual earth itself. As you know, whether it be rising sea levels or extreme weather events, climate change is affecting everyone everywhere. It will take all of us doing everything we can in our local lives and community to impact the world globally. SDG 14, life below water. Oceans and seas provide us with more than just drinking water. They provide and regulate numerous parts of the global system, from the food we eat to the oxygen we breathe. They cover 3/4 of the Earth's surface, and as much as 40% of world oceans are harmed by human activities. Pollution, overfishing, and destruction are just a few problems that need to be addressed. SDG number 15, life on land. Efforts are being made to save life's lands and forests, which sustain our everyday life. And let me give a special shout out and kudos to those tree planting efforts that are being conducted by members of our UnityNet team and people around the world. Around 16 billion people, 1.6 billion people depend on forests for their livelihood. Forests are where we get natural resources, including much of our food. Forests are also homes to animals, plants, and insects, some of which are now at risk of extinction. Drought, deterioration, and erosion are products of poor management, protection, and climate change. All these are practices we can change, but our youth must be empowered to know how and what they can do in their local lives to impact their peers and their communities. SDG number 16, peace and justice. People around the world lack fundamental freedoms, Wars and conflicts cause widespread suffering. We must promote equal access to justice for all in order to end violence and corruption in all its forms. Forms of corruption around the world include, but are not limited to, abuse, trafficking, terrorism, and discriminatory laws. As a result, humans suffered, death rates increase, and economies struggle. Promoting change that is inclusive is key to achieving peace globally. That's particularly important for this group. The AHIABGA was founded on September 21st of 2019, International Day of Peace. This 16-day event will be ending on December 10th, the International Day for Human Rights. As I mentioned to you earlier, we will, in fact, be sharing this content on a platform going forward to next year's International and Indigenous Women's Development Conference on freedoms.ucit.tv. Right now, that has a description of the 30 human rights that include Human Right 29, responsibility. As we are all demonstrating our responsibility to our world and our earth, we must provide our children the opportunity to get recognition and appreciation for the work that they do. Yes, I do see hands raised. I will complete my presentation after describing SDG number 17. Global Goal 17, Partnerships for the Goal. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnerships for sustainable development. Inclusive partnerships between governments, the private sector, and civil society are key for success. In fact, that is what all of us on this call and all of our audience are doing. Why is this important? The goals created to save our world are a call to action on everyone's behalf. In order to make a change, participation is needed at the global, regional, national, and local level. Developed and developing countries share the same vision, but the least developed regions may not have the resources or capacity to move towards achieving all 17 achieving all 17 goals must be a group effort. And finally, I'm going to just review ASAP, awareness. Pick the goal you care most about and share why it is important to you on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Anybody and everybody can do that. Service, pick a goal that you care about and plan a project to address that goal on this platform or others. Advocacy, get your peers to participate in data platforms and UN surveys. Philanthropy, start a student organization or club at your school with a partner. Host fundraisers such as readathons throughout the year for your new organization. So with that, Mariam Khan, I'm going to end my presentation, and I thank all of you for giving me your time to review this material. I do see a hand raised, so Saviors, I'll give you the opportunity first to pose your question. We'll take 3 questions in a row, and then I'll address each one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the detailed briefing about sustainable development goals, opportunities, possibilities. And now we can start taking questions. So Saviors, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Sir Heather Avanza, kindly unmute yourself.
If you choose, you can also type your question in the chat, or Miriam, I'll turn it over to you to decide how we're going to follow from here. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, meanwhile, Saviors is, making themselves available to speak about with their questions. Is anyone else wants to ask any question from Sir Andrew? Or even you can put your questions in the chat also. So we can't hear you.
Well, you can if I take myself off mute, huh?
So,
I was just saying.
so Heather Amansa, kindly unmute yourself. If you want to ask something.
Mariam, it's
Yes.
just a comment. Probably we should have 17 days activism for each of the goals.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. We actually did that on September 21st of this year with the World Humanitarian Organization for Peace and Equity. We addressed all 17 goals, but I agree with you. Also, I would like Shamista for us to think about adding an additional day to this particular group of 16 days. So on that 17th day, we can do a review and then move forward to projecting a 17-day cycle. So thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to, work on SDGs. I work on 11 of these for the last 16 plus years, and more so on climate for the last 5 years. So I'm more than happy to be, a part of it and do the best that I can.
Excellent. Well, the same is true. We're willing to help you in supporting each of your objectives, because the idea is that we actually demonstrate partnerships for development. So count us in on any way we can assist your own efforts. I'd also suggest that everyone provide or produce a calendar of events for 2022 so we can all promote each other's events. That will be the best way we can help each other.
What I have seen, Andrew, is that people, again, like the other day I was studying, they think that SDGs is only for organizations, which is not. All of us can have small projects or initiatives right from the comfort of our, home, be it hunger, poverty, or economic opportunities, and so on and on, be it climate as well, So I think that kind of awareness is really important for everybody, because people think it's United Nations, so the countries have to do it, the politicians have to do it, but no, everybody can do. So I think we need to bring a change in the way people think about SDGs.
Well,
how people can be a part of the solution making process and not just get solutions.
Well, not only do I agree with you, but
Definitely.
again, we'll be providing a platform so that each of us can show what we're already doing to address each of the sustainable development goals. We really don't have a problem in achieving the goals. We have a problem in letting people know what the goals are so they can be the ones to address how what they're doing already impacts that. To me, Shamista, that would be the greatest thing we could do to help create the data that's needed to drive the funding that has been so far committed but has not been spent, because they don't have a way to describe or to identify who's doing what. But we're all doing things that deserve support. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
And sir, we have one question. This is from Iman Adnan. Which goal do you believe would serve as a low-hanging fruit to work on the begin with realistic speaking?
What's the last word you said with the elective speaking? With what?
She said that which goal do you believe would serve as a low-hanging fruit to work on to begin with realistically speaking? Thanks.
Oh, that's a very easy answer, number 17, because what that means is that in your efforts to achieve partnership for the goals, you can then identify which one is most important to you. But the low-hanging fruit is to make a public demonstration of the fact that you are involved with the effort to promote a sustainable development goal. And then people will come to you and ask about that. So the low-hanging fruit is to educate yourself on what you'll be able to take responsibility for. Princess Seppi, I see your hand raised.
Wonderfully answered. I wanted to add on yours. The other one that I believe is you have just said it, the last line, access education. Because education is transformational and education is empowering. All of them actually, they need understanding. They need all of them. up until we arrive at the collaboration, because once we all are educated in all of these areas and we have a good understanding, it becomes easy for us to collaborate, to identify as well, and have our focal area. Thank you so much. I was just adding on yours. You already have said so right on your last line to say, to educate ourselves on them so that we then are able to come on the SDG 17, all of us with the same level or kind of close. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. And we have also one comment from Amjad. Awareness should be spread on grassroots level. Yes, we are already working on grassroots awareness, and the 16 days of activism for development campaign is basically designed for the grassroots awareness and promotions of food and nutrition, smart agriculture, and also saving food securities. So moving towards, if we don't have further comments from and questions with Sir Andrew, we are going to have another presentation related to one of another initiative of Global Women's Development Network, Community Development Foundation. This is AHIABGA-TV internship program. So we have today a lot of persons from academia also in these 16 days of activism campaign. So we can raise one of our initiative, which is ensuring the big collaboration with the academia also. So we want to share this opportunity and this initiative also from this platform with you, and especially our today's keynote speaker, Madam Surya Bano, is majorly related with academia in India. So I wish that you must, see this opportunity, and you can apply, and you can implement such kind of opportunities or collaboration in your areas also. So, Sir Andrew, can I deliver my presentation now, please?
Yes, now's that time. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Thank you so much. So is my screen is visible?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
So thank you so much. And this is community engagement. We have, previously delivered with this is STI department. STI stands for Sustainable Development Initiative. And this is one of the major universities department, University of Management Sciences here in Pakistan. And we delivered this project with 150 students. And the research project of this internship program is International and Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2022. So community engagement with academia by Community Development Foundation, Global Women's Development Network, and International Internship Program. So we deliver this and we implement this program not only for the Pakistan. This is open, and this model is open for every country which is involving on this platform by Global Women's Development Network. So Community Development Foundation is a group of non-profit companies, and we are the real global connectors, connecting through local to global, designing different initiative projects and programs. Community Development Foundation is an organization dedicated to achieving women's economic empowerment from local to global. Community Development Foundation was established in 2009 to be the national and international advocate for women's economic rights and development to accelerate progress on achieving economic growth and equality of life. So Global Women's Development Network is also one of the collective initiative from the platform of International and Indigenous Women's Day Conference. Global Women's Development Network is a diverse, effective, and inclusive women's network based in USA and Pakistan. Global Women's Development Network registered with the Secretary of State of Texas, USA as non-profit organization. Global Women's Development Network will be recognized as a non-profit women's development organization by women for women, and will be served globally as a social and economic development platform for women, especially for grassroots. This is the Global Women's Development Network Partners Wall, and you can see, so we have organizations and platforms across the globe with us, which are already serving on a larger scale to cover sustainable development goals indicators, and they are serving from their areas and regions to especially addressing women's issue as well. Overview of the initiative for internship. We basically delivered this concept to the towards the students, that what exactly is the concept of International Women's Day Conference, because they are going to take in this project as a research project like for the 2 months. So the concept of IWDC, we have already explained 2 days earlier, but this is for the new members, and because we are going to having this event in March 2022 again as a second round of the conference. So we must repeat this, to show to the world that what exactly we are going to do in March 2022. So International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March in every country all over the world. It offers an opportunity to reflect on progress made, to call for change, and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played an extraordinary role in the history of their countries and communities. In the current year, March 2021, International Women's Day Conference, a group of like-minded women leaders from 17 countries participated and observed that women are the leaders all over the world in almost every field of life. They lead business processes for economic development, running businesses, establishing business ventures as successful entrepreneurs, building communities, leading nations, serving on frontlines in hospitals and schools. They are president of the countries and corporate boards. They are promoting peace, heading international organizations, for serving and promoting grassroots organizations, participating at larger scale in agriculture, enhancing their presence in sports teams, labor and environmental movements, often while caring of their families and communities. March 2021 International Women's Day Conference, a week-long celebration. We celebrate all women, and particularly those leading the change for women empowerment and equality. We encourage all women leaders with their initiative, ideas, proposals, and suggestions for girls and women who dream of leadership to take it up. Conference was based on "Do not wait. It is your right, and the world needs you know more even than ever" through 20 points charter of demand at the closing of the conference. March 2022, International Indigenous Women's Day Conference 22. We believe that women collectively will change our world for the better tomorrow. Where there is gender equality, societies are more prosperous, peace is more durable, economic conditions will be more powerful, education will be accessible for all, good health will be priority of all families and nations, networking and partnerships will be the backbone of every initiative, and societies will get benefits collectively. Although many obstacles still block women's path to leadership, one of the most fundamental is the lack of awareness about the women's rights. Many women cannot make basic decisions about their work. Communities as well as no access to share their will and opinion as citizens or like men, such as lack of civic education and lack of their own rights, or even make their own healthcare choices. In International Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2022, major objective of the week-long virtual conference dated 4th March to 8th March 2022, no woman should be left or denied these choices. Choices to know, choices to learn, choices to implement, choices to accelerate, choices to invest, and finally, choose a better life by building stronger families, communities, and nations. We are here to work as showcase for these women and highlighting them as shining leaders through this global platform, in which we are hoping for 50+ countries as women leaders and best representatives of their countries. This is the International Indigenous Women's Day 2020 dashboard. This dashboard is going to present plus 50 countries talking global challenges. 50+ nations picking the people and available resources. Plus 50 women leaders take away sustainable solutions. 10+ sectors women economic empowerment oriented. Grassroots development oriented 10 sustainable development goals are going to be addressed in this conference. 3 kind of partnerships are going to open through this conference: technical partnership, strategic partnership, and financial partnerships. Our strategy towards International and Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2022, we have designed our strategy to respond to all women by addressing their needs and trends to deliver long-term success. Number 1, better businesses. Number 2, better choice societies. Better societies is about how we met our responsibilities in relation to our communities and our projects. We are known for outperforming in women businesses expectations with our social impact investments. Social impact investment, we recognize the role we must play in making a positive impact and transforming the lives of women around the globe. Our social impact investment strategy focuses on 3 areas that have a direct connection with our targets. These are the targets of 2022 conference. This is one, we are having one main stage with 50+ events in this upcoming conference. We have 50+ countries women leadership, 10 sustainable development goals and themes majorly focused on women. 200+ speakers are going to participate in these sessions for 5 days. 30+ sponsors, women's business development companies and platforms are going to be serving on this platform. 50+ partners, International Women's Day Conference 22, so partners which can initiate projects to increase the economic power of women and girls globally. So funding opportunities, technical partnerships, and strategic partnerships are open for these sponsors. So we have 2 kinds of partnerships which we have already, running our promos nowadays of this conference. So these are strategic partnerships and the thematic partnerships. So in the strategic partnership, we set our all kind of quantitative information about the conference, and in the thematic partnership, we are having the promos of every partner countries and partner organization, which are coming under different. So we can see one by one. So these are the main organizers of the conference. So we are having women in agriculture, our first theme of the conference, women in businesses, women in education, women in community services, women in investments, and women in IT, technology, and high tech. So overview of the collaboration for the internship program. What is the vision of internship program of Global Women's Development Network? This is give back to community through youth engagement. So what is the mission of this initiative? The virtual internship program, because we run this internship because of COVID. This was the virtual program, but now if we allow from the state of from the corona situation, then we can do this on even as a physical internship program also. So aim to advance the development work for non-profit, local government, and CSR initiatives by providing opportunities to eligible students to engage in consulting work to acquire international professional experience in the development field, like International Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2022. These are the objectives of this internship program. So, which is the slogan is give back to community. So number one, to improve the possibilities of internship program to successfully address gender aspects with the partners. Number two, to contribute to the empowerment of women, students, and graduates. To support women for finding entry points for future employment. Work for the betterment of the community by capacity building. And highlighting International Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2021-2030 initiative in academia. Guideline for joining this program. Apply project concepts, read the document of International Indigenous Women's 2021-2030. This is the concept paper regarding this conference. So increase proficiency in specific project disciplines such as human resource management. Develop and improve business skills in communication, technology, and teamwork. observe and participate community services and decision making, meet professionals, models, and potential mentors from community, expand network, professional relationship, and context. Internship tasks: learn and gain experiences. International Indigenous Women's Day Conference 2022 having two major tasks. Number one, International and Indigenous Women's Day Conference globally gives you an insight into your dream industry, network, grow your practical work, knowledge, and give you a competitive edge over peers. So second major task of this internship program is internship provides students with the grassroots exposure to the on-ground realities of challenged areas of multiple countries. Tasks of in the group, because we segregate these 150 students in 6 major groups, and these 6 major groups in working under these thematic task of the in the groups. So connecting with the countries. Major task to connect with the listed countries. So we provided them the list of countries in which we give them the special task to research about these countries, that what exactly they are doing in terms of women's development, women's economic empowerment, and women's and gender equality, and about the women's rights. So we gave them this task to search in the given list of the countries. Number 2, connecting with the speakers. Connecting with the listed speakers, so they can connect with them, they can talk about their said subjects, they can ask questions to them, they can use their expertise as a mentors also. So connecting to the sponsorships, connecting with listed and entrusted sponsors, and connecting for partnerships, registered partners as per their interest in given kind of partnership. Number 5, which is the major task of this internship, research on AHIABGA-TV 2021 to 2030 impact report will be prepared and launched collectively by Community Development Foundation, Global Women's Development Network, University of Management Technology, and Initiative of Sustainable Development by Community Engagement Program. So this was the major task for these students. So after having different kind of researches, which I have later share with you, that what exactly we gain from these students after 2 months on this research project. So the task and responsibilities almost I have explained in the previous slides. Assist and contribute to the team performing assigned duties through PowerPoint presentations, drafting reports, designing creativities, and reaching trends. Managing social media and emails, learn event handling, research on similar projects and activities, understanding the international internship process, take on the increasing amount of responsibilities, network forming a peer support group, make a career call with International Indigenous Women's Day 21 to 2030. So don't forget to share back to the community. So this is the slogan of this internship program. So we also focus on during even the responsibilities that the main objective of this internship program is give back to the communities. So these are the proposed sectors of Community Development Foundation. We set the similar sectors for the Global Women's Development Network. We set the similar targets as sectors for the International and Indigenous Women's Day Conference. So what are these sectors? We are working in business entrepreneurship. We are dealing in IT, ICT, and high tech. We have skills and livelihood, marketing and business development, health and well-being, food and agriculture, environment and climate action, safe and affordable energy, print and electronic media, and safety and security. So these 10 sectors are, the focused working sectors across the globe from this platform. So focus issue under this project, The Sustainable Development Goals cover a wide range of social and economic development issues: poverty, hunger, health, education, climate change, gender equality, water and sanitation, energy and environment, and social justice. So all these issues are, we are trying to cover under our selected sectors, and all these sectors are reflected in our all platforms, starting from local to global. So thank you so much. This is our one of the initiative other than International Indigenous Women's Day Conference. So this internship program is open for the academia, and every member country and every member of Global Women's Development Network, or here in Pakistan, even the people which are attached with the Community Development Foundation, can be utilize this opportunity for your students also to run different kind of research project. So this is the win-win situation for both platforms, that students can learn, work from our different projects and different initiatives, and we can, cover our major aspects through their research. Because after this research program, because we close this internship program with the university, and we are going to taking a new batch of 100 students from taking them on a level 2 for the internship. So these students, done a great job. They research more than 200 countries for us. They searched globally the women-oriented organizations. They connected with the women leaders. They search a lot of organizations which are investing in the women, and they are also promoting a lot of stuff for us, that the platform is doing similar kind of work which Global Women's Development Network is doing nowadays. So thank you so much, and you are welcome for the questions. Thank you. So Sarendra, please, this is over to you.
Well, thank you so very much. That was a very comprehensive presentation. However, everyone attending needs to know that it's only the beginning. The idea is that we are leveraging the work of these first 150 interns with this next batch of 100 interns. But the idea is to recruit interns from multiple countries and from multiple campuses, because at the end of the day, as Princess Seppi says, it will be education that we will certainly need to engage our community. However, the existing infrastructure that we have around the world means that data is driving all the decisions that are being made from the top down. It's our responsibility at the grassroots to use our educational infrastructure to provide the credibility that's needed, so that when we make our presentations, we have it backed up by facts and data. Also, it empowers all of us to engage with our local universities, even our high schools, even our grammar schools, even our kindergarten, to begin to educate the children from the bottom up, because this is, after all, their narrative. So we hope to have, by the end of this 16 days, a landing page so that each of you can come and identify what your own area of talent, skill, interest, or ability is, or your organization's key mission as it relates to one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals. And we'll also need your commitment to participate with us going forward, so that this is a collaborative and regenerative connection that demonstrates, as I said, number 17, global partnerships for the goals. Thank you very much, Miriam. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm going to invite our today's keynote speaker, Ms. Ben Surya Bano. Ma'am, kindly, we are giving you 5 minutes to conclude your today's talk, and then we will close after taking comments from the people also. So this is over to you. Thank you. Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself.
Thank you, Maria ma'am. As I told before, food is necessary for our life. And I conclude, I repeat again, good nutrition is essential during childhood, and it is a time of rapid growth, development, and activity, so that the parents should be alert with their childs for healthy and good foods, and to encourage physical activities. And the parent can limit their children's time spent instead of watching television, playing video games. They should promote more physical active routines such as walking, running, and playing games. It is important for parents to actively participate in their children's lives surrounding nutrition and exercises. We should eat fresh and good nutrition for our health, because health is wealth. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this powerful message that health is wealth and nutrition is very much important, not only in the young kids, but this is important for as a human being for everyone. So we started when
Hello, Miriam. We cannot hear you. Well, in the meantime, we have about 8 minutes left. We
0 to
normally have a
15 years old.
Oh, there you are. Oh, Miriam, we have
Yes,
about
sir.
8 minutes left. We have about 8 minutes left. So I would
Yes.
like to ask any of our guests that are here that have not introduced themselves to
Yes,
take a
sir.
minute to introduce themselves now. Thank you.
So we have one new guest today. This is Violet. Violet, you are connecting with us, and if you want to introduce yourself, you have 2 minutes. Kindly share about yourself, your name, your country.
Hi, Violet. Violet, I think Violet is South Africa. It's one of the people that have been invited. Violet, can you hear us? Okay.
Sorry, ma'am, what you are
It's
saying?
okay, Miriam, we can go on.
Okay.
Go on, doesn't like you can hear. I don't know if it,
Okay. So from all available members, if you want to add any comments regarding today's suggestions, you are most welcome. Otherwise, we can close today's session. Violet, if you are, if you can hear us, kindly you want to introduce yourself on the platform? Okay. Thank you so much for all our keynote speaker. Thank you so much to all audience today and the regular members, especially which are joining us from the day first. And Ma'am Surya Banu, you are also invited to join us on the regular basis for the rest of our 5 days. So with the same link, same time, you can join us. You can give your feedback. You can, leave your comments. And also, especially this is the announcement for every member, every guest that we have closing on 10th of December, same time with the same link. And we are having, very good and comprehensive impact report to be launched on this closing ceremony. and also having a very, bigger number of audience with us on the closing day. So everyone which are joining us from the day first till now, all are most welcome. And you can even spread this message to your in your circle also, that people can connect with this campaign, not only for these 16 days, but even we can join this these objectives or this mission later to convert this in a tangible executed project in every country. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for everyone's great remarks, your time, and good night from my side, and thank you so much.
Good night, ma'am.
Thank you. Good night,
Good night.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for today's session. See you tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Namaste, everyone.
Good
Much
morning.
love.
Bye-bye.
And a
Good
blessing.
morning. Good morning to Sir Andrew and Joan. Good morning.
I love to all. We'll catch you later.